Success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. Birdie.
I think my computer's just being...
Success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile dream.
Birdie and I grew up in a small mill town upstate New York. I was a shy kid in school and I was a stutterer.
I always had a dream of having my own business. My mom told me when I was a little kid that Yager means you can't work for somebody else.
Yagers don't work for other people.
Can't work for somebody else.
He was a doer. He wanted to accomplish things. He had big dreams.
He knew my dad and I knew his dad, but we didn't know each other. It was kind of a funny thing.
Successful people are ordinary people with extraordinary desire to move in some direction. We're making $95 a week. $95 a week before taxes. At West End Brewery.
And we were broke.
I was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Our dreams were this big.
And I was sick and tired of somebody else owning me.
I'd prayed for 6 months that God would give me my own business.
I believed all my life I was going to succeed and I should succeed. And I believed that hard work was the answer. But I didn't realize until later in life that it took a vehicle to put that hard work behind.
I didn't understand that this opportunity would change the course of our lives.
It didn't take any investment. It was only $8 to get in. It was our ticket to freedom.
Everybody tried to tell us how dumb we were, how immature we were.
They called it crazy and we were nuts to be in the business.
I was just an average guy. But I had more than the average willingness to pay the price. I had more than the average hunger.
I used to think that if everything went good, then I'd decide what to do. Then I had to learn that you decide first and then everything falls in place, you know.
They struggled the first couple of years, and they started putting the pieces together and figuring out what was working and what wasn't working.
He was the most motivated person I think I'd ever been around in my life.
We thought he was nuts.
Many new people come and they expected him to be, you know, this polished, handsome, tall.
As big as he is and as well as they're doing, you know, this guy's got to be like 6'10". Well, that's not the case.
I'm just a small guy, but the world starts with me and my dream and my energy and my ambition.
He had a determination and a drive you don't see in just the average person.
There's people that talk better than I do. There's people that have more education than I do.
They provided vision for what the whole team working together could do.
Your group is your family.
It comes from the heart. It comes from the heart of both of them.
She was such a mentor and a leader to all the women that you just immediately connected with her.
We believe the best thing we can do is to help people stand on their own 2 feet.
They had a true love and caring for people.
Personhood leadership goes beyond what that person has physically touched.
Empowering other people to use their talents and gifts and skills to do what they want to do in life.
The way I was brought up, I was constantly had a lot of Dexterisms whispered into my ear.
They have a whole vocabulary of success.
The persistence.
Perseverance, stamina.
Never giving up.
Never give up.
Not letting obstacles stop you.
Speaking great things
Not
into
let
existence.
anybody steal my dream.
Do you believe? He would whisper, do you believe? They become part of your mindset.
All the things that are just lasting principles that no matter where you apply them in life, they're going to work.
So of course, we learned everything we know from Dexter. And when I say Dexter, of course, I mean Birdie too.
They could see his passion for people and that he wanted for them what he had.
This is the largest gathering of future millionaires you'll ever see. Round direct. Dexter and Birdie Yager.
Because of you, we have had to create an award for 45 points, then 50 points, and now 55 points.
People need people.
We see the Amway sales plan in this day and how it looks for the future.
The Amway sales plan has made dreams come true.
A dream come true that I didn't know that I would ever have.
Coming from where we came from, there was no way to see anywhere close to this.
You know, I look at my parents as being leaders among leaders.
The biggest star ever in this business is Mr. Dexter Yager.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
But opportunity comes to each one of us.
The information is timeless, and the stories are
But
timeless.
it's our choice what decisions we make about each of those opportunities.
Don't ever give up on anybody. And for God's sake, don't give up on you.
And that's all that we need, somebody that provides that example of leadership, what's possible, and that it's worth it.
I could never dream that I'd be where I am today.
Everybody needs a
A
dream.
man without vision shall
I've
perish.
always
wanted to
The ultimate message should be, you can do it.
Our ordinary people with extraordinary desire to move in some.
Oops. What's up? It is DC. I am having a surprise guest. Her camera just died, so she is hooking that back up. And we're going to be reacting to some Amway stuff. And by stuff, I mean SHIT. So here's the deal. I was on Business for Home. Y'all know how I like to snoop around. And even though Dexter Yager has passed away, he is from the intro video. His team is still one of the winningest teams in the world for multi-level marketing. I'm super excited to see everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the chat on. Hello. Technical difficulties. Yes. Can y'all see me? I think you should be able to hear me as well. We're gonna wait for... Whoops, my guest is not here yet. I would have done it was basically putting food on a plate and it was already made. Yesterday was definitely crap for me. My coworker superior has control issues. I'm a pastry cook. There was always one big thing to do. There was only one big thing to do that day, a tasting for 6 people for the hotel's own Christmas. I could have done it. It was basically putting food on a plate that was already made. Oh, great. I am using a new program. We did do a test thing, but the spirit of technical difficulties. She's coming back. We're just gonna wait for a hot second. I'm gonna turn my other little widgets on. Thank y'all for who have liked the stream. My new streaming program I'm using, I can see the little likes, so I really appreciate that. Appreciate the support. We're right at 12,500 watch hours, and we're so close to, we're close to getting on up there to 13,000 watch hours. Janet, hello. I'm going to keep the chat up here, and we're just going to bide some time until our surprise guest gets back. And her parents were in Amway. It is a good time to practice it. And let me see if I have another short video I could add. Let's see. Let me see. Where is it? I had my scenes somewhere. I don't know where they went. I have my overlays. I have my interview. Where did the scenes go? Window. Scenes. Oh, there we go. So I could do screen share. I'm right here. And I think it's, let me see if I can pull in the video, I guess. Or just a short video while we wait. Let's see. iCloud, no. We are looking for Dexter Yager. We have a 60 minutes video. We have a part 1, part 2, part 3 that we're not going to watch. I think this is 8 minutes, so let's watch this. And let's see if I can make it full screen. Yes.
I want to talk about achievement.
This is Doug DeVos.
Because in this business, we do a lot of recognition of people's achievements. We want to cheer your achievements. We want to acknowledge and celebrate the great things that you do on a regular basis. And throughout our years in the business, we have continued to try to find ways to properly recognize and express our appreciation for the great work that leaders have done. Dex and Bertie, throughout our history, have been the leaders to push the envelope. Dex and Bertie, throughout our history,
it's a bop. Y'all know it is.
Have been the ones.
It's a 90s bop.
To continue to work and be dedicated and committed to pushing themselves to be the best that they could be. Dedicated. To have an attitude of just getting started. And be building win-win relationships with people all over the world to make sure they were successful too. We have many great leaders in this business, and many have achieved significant levels of success. But nobody in this business anywhere in the world has ever achieved the level of 60 FAA points. Right?
64, actually, when he passed away.
And I think you should welcome the newest qualifiers with 60 FAA points. Could you help me welcome and recognize Dexter and Bertie Yager?
Hi, Beth.
I remember when the program was instituted, we said, well, nobody's ever going to get, I think we started at 40. We didn't think anybody would get there. Well, you were there right away. And so then we went to 50. Well, no one's ever, well, then you were there.
Hello?
Dexter.
Yes.
We've got something here for you.
Oh, the butler.
Okay.
That's Steve Van Arnold. A car.
Dexter.
Good waiting, Steve. How we doing?
Come on out.
Oh,
this is your bonus check. And it is something, as I say, that you've earned. It's something that I want to say congratulations to you. And it's something that this morning I talked with both Rich and my dad, and they also want to say congratulations. And I felt I needed to deliver it directly to you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
$2 million. What?
When we created the award, we weren't...
Yo, where's the FTC at? What the hell? Oh, we're here. Our guest is here. Okay, hold on. Let me add her back. I think. Guest is in the green room. Add to left. Hello. Oh wait. let me exit out of this. I'm super messed up.
Oh my god. Freaking A.
That's okay.
Technical difficulties? I am the queen of technical difficulties
I think it's contagious. I think I gave it to you. Seriously.
Yeah, what am I doing? That's not what I want to do.
Let me exit.
So y'all, my husband got me all set up with like a camera and a microphone, and I'm gonna put on DC's live on here and mute it. Freaking A! That's like difficulties. I'm the queen of technical difficulties.
I think it's contagious. I think I gave it to you. Seriously. I think we're good.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
We're good to go. Let me pull my scenes back up because I definitely screwed that up. Window, scenes. It keeps disappearing for some. There we go. Oh, wait. Where did my add? There we go. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, so literally this is Melissa. Your parents were we're going to talk a little bit about it, but your parents were in Amway.
Yes.
Right? And were you ever in Amway?
Yes.
Okay, even the plot thickens. We were watching a little puff piece on Dexter Yager really quick while we were waiting for you to surprise the live stream. So let me move this.
I live stream. I'm trying to get the video up on my computer so that I can read the live stream while we're doing this.
Okay. Cool. Sweet.
All right.
Sweet.
Hi, y'all. So this is fun. So I had husband got me all set up like with a camera and a microphone, and then he left to go run an errand, and then the freaking camera died.
DC's technical difficulties strike again.
I am tech not savvy.
Well, I kind of reached for the stars. I'm like, nope, that didn't work. That didn't work.
What do I do?
Well, you're back. Yes. So Melissa is like always in the live chats of everybody. She's in Aaron's and Julie Joe's, and you make the rounds.
I like that. Like, you guys are my people. You're my tribe.
Yeah, I love it. We've got Jessica, Janet, Hunter, Tanya, Avery, Caro, Sky, Harper, Beth, like Jessica, the whole crew's here. The whole crew is here. I guess like
can't do it without my glasses. My eyesight sucks. Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. We love I cannot wait till I get glasses. I'm like waiting. I know people are like ever since I've tried to fail the eye exam since kindergarten, so I mean it's just and I don't know. I just need to be grateful for right now.
My username on YouTube is Melissa J, all lowercase. My username on Instagram is Melissa042807.
Love that.
It is Melissa J. Hi.
Yes. And even better, she's got all the details on Amway, the super secret, super huge MLM that seems to do the most to stay off of social media. Oh, Jessie, hello. Hello. So I got several messages of I didn't even know Amway was still in business. And so can you tell the live chat like a little bit about your history with Amway and your parents, and like they're still doing the most apparently. So
my parents joined Amway when I was a sophomore in high school, so 1999. Yeah, spring of 1999. That was when I'm glad I taught you how to wash your hair, Chelsea. So that was when they had just launched their big Quick Star rebrand. Amazon was starting to really take off, and I think Amway wanted to be Amazon is kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
I don't remember who found my parents. I was gone. I was on a spring break trip with my youth group, and I come home, and after 12 hours in a minivan with the stinky teenagers, including myself, and my house is full of people. There's this guy in a suit with a whiteboard, and I'm exhausted. I'm smelly. I'm just like, what is happening? And life kind of changed from that point.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So they went all in. So it wasn't just like they signed up. They like actively were doing all the things. Okay. Wow.
They actually made it all the way to Emerald, which is one level below Diamond.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, wait, okay, so here's a nosy question. What was life like before Amway? And then what was life like after Amway?
So life before Amway, I feel like, was just like very normal. We were very middle class. My dad owned a construction company, home building, and there were four of us. I have three brothers. We lived in the mountains. You know, we had our activities and whatnot, and went to church. I don't know. It was just very normal.
Yeah.
And we were used to like our kind of rough and tough outdoorsman dad, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, when they went all in on Amway, there were all these kind of like strange things. Like they started, I didn't know what an MLM was. I mean, I was 15 and, I mean, I knew about Mary Kay, but I didn't really understand it. Cause like who didn't get their makeup done by Mary Kay lady in the 90s? Let's be honest.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
You know, like the self-development started and the listening to the tapes started, which back then it was tapes,
Yeah.
little cassette tapes, and that they would play in the car when we drove anywhere. And that wasn't, sometimes it was like boring, but sometimes there would be one of the Diamonds who was particularly hilarious. And those were fun to listen to. They were just entertaining. And happy birthday, Janet.
Happy birthday, Janet.
You know, they listened to, Amway had this voicemail system where people could send out messages to their downlines, and it was called Amvox. And my parents would listen to it on speakerphone, on the landline, on speakerphone.
Oh my God.
There's crazy. We hated it. It was so annoying. You know, then they started to the functions, the events, and there were a lot. I mean, they'd have three major conferences per year, and then the one in the winter time was like a banquet type thing. It wasn't multi-day. And then the local events, which were like, I can't remember if they were once a month or every other month or once a quarter, but it seemed like there were a lot. And people would drive from Wyoming and New Mexico to come to these in our city where we lived in Colorado.
Wow.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And, you know, Amway products invaded our house. My mom cleaned my makeup drawer out without my consent.
Oh.
Placed it with all Amway makeup.
Holy crap.
I was not a happy girl. I opened my makeup drawer to get ready and all my makeup was gone. I was like, Mom, what did you do? So this day, I'm very protective of my stuff. Like, don't touch my stuff.
No kidding.
Better. He like doesn't go near my stuff.
Wow.
And like I was again 15, pretty naive, and I thought, like from my perspective, this was a legitimate thing. It was, you know, my parents did make money at it, and they started dressing, you know, professional for things. My dad started buying suits, which my dad is a total redneck. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a guy. And you know, they kept winning contests, so they'd get to travel. They were gone for the events quite a bit, which was neither here nor there. My brothers and I were pretty independent. We didn't mind being alone for a weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah. And you know, when my older brother and I turned 18, both of us signed up, because like that's what you do. When you turn Amway, when you turn 18, you sign up and you start. So then I would travel for the functions. So 3 times a year, I'd get on a plane and fly to another city and go to a weekend function for Amway, a giant convention center where I had to wear a skirt and hose and heels all weekend.
Oh my God. Okay, so let me ask you a question. How did you go from Mom, I'm pissed that you just cleaned my makeup drawer out and replaced all my stuff with Amway, and also being shocked, like you come home from this, this retreat, this youth church retreat, and your parents are like, we're selling stuff now, to like, okay, we're signing up when you're 18. Like, how did that mindset shift happen for you?
I trusted my parents.
Okay.
I was a kid. I trusted my parents, and I did have internal doubts, but I didn't know how to voice them.
Sure.
And I wanted to please my parents.
Okay.
I never recruited anybody. I never sold anything to anybody, but I dutifully attended all the events. I helped my mom with the like makeup and skincare events because I was actually really good at that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but they're all along the way, especially as I grew into adulthood, all along the way, there were growing questions about the sets and the trainings and the things that they would say, where I'd be like, that doesn't feel quite accurate. Like, if everybody in the world does Amway like you all say they should, who's going to pick up the garbage?
Right.
Who's going to fly the plane that you travel? Who's going to work the concession stands at these events? But if you dared say that out loud, then they would just start, shit talking jobs, jobs, you and your job. Oh God. Yeah. So there was very much an atmosphere of, if you're not all in, like you can't ask questions.
Okay.
They won't give you a straight answer. It'll just be, Amway's the best, this business is the best, the opportunity is the best, blah, 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 blah. And they just kind of talk you into, okay, fine. I get it. It's the best. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm banning a bot real quick.
Manipulation in Amway. Yeah, a lot.
Did your parents manipulate you, or did your parents get manipulated with the faith stuff, or like what, all of it, or what happened with that?
I would definitely say both. Before Amway, my parents weren't into any of the prosperity gospel or anything like that, where like you do the work and you bless God and God blesses you, etc., etc. Joel type crap, which Joel Osteen's a twat and I can't stand the man.
I agree.
I didn't even know that existed. Actually, fun story. We were less than a year after they joined Amway. So they joined Amway and we went to a small church. We lived in a mountain town. We went to a small church, and my parents recruited some people from our church, some of their friends. And the pastors and the church overall was very unhealthy. Like, it was a spiritually abusive dynamic. Very, very controlling. And my older brother had already started going to a different church for reasons. I won't tell his story for him, but the pastor started literally preaching against like the sin of money from the pulpit. Like, he was preaching, and it was not subtle. Like, it was clear he was talking about my parents and the other people who had joined Amway with them.
Oh.
And after one particular sermon, we left and went to lunch. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my two younger brothers. And my dad said, "We're done. We're never darkening the door of that church again." So we lost our church, which we'd gone to for several years. And at the relatively small high school, because I was still in high school, I was a junior, that was tough. Because like, at the see these kids who had been my friends every single day, and it was so awkward.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain is breaking right now.
I think they probably would have left that church anyway, because there were a lot of really controlling, really unhealthy things going on. But the way it happened was just very, very sudden. So
wow.
That was definitely a hard time.
Yeah. Did that happen after you joined Amway or before you joined Amway?
About a year after.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Amway for?
So I joined, I wouldn't say I was active, like, I mean, my IBO number, my registration number was active and I went to the events, but I didn't really do anything. It just kind of petered out over time, especially as I got my own job and into the real world. And then I met my husband and just kind of, it just wasn't our thing, him and I. So we got married young. I was 23 when we got married. So it was only a few years that I was really involved in going to the events and stuff. And my parents were involved beyond that. But it wasn't very long before they kind of diminished their involvement in Amway. And I'm not 100% sure why. That's a conversation I haven't had with them. Because they are still very much pro, even though they're not doing anything with Amway anymore. They don't have a rank. They just order products every month and they still get a little bit of money every month from the people who they recruited in their downline who are still active.
Oh, wow.
Just a little, not like anything great shakes, but like it pays their life insurance bill,
Sure.
But yeah, they are still very much like Amway legitimate and all of those things. So it's not a conversation I feel like they're ready to have.
Sure.
Because my objections to multi-level marketing are not something that I think they are ready to flesh through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, a big part of them diminishing their involvement in Amway was, I think, the fact that they didn't really naturally fit into the roles that Amway wants people to fit into.
Okay.
It is very much into like gender roles, husband, wife, man, woman. Man is the leader, man is the head of the household. The woman supports the man. Period.
And that's how your parents are. That's not how your parents are.
Personalities. Like my dad is quieter and like he's a really, really hard worker. And when he's comfortable and he's talking and he gets going, he's really funny.
Yeah.
But my mom has always been the more out in front, more extroverted, more talkative, more, all of those kinds of things. But I think Amway made them feel like that was bad.
Oh, okay.
To like reverse that. And I think that just led to a lot of internal conflict for them.
Sure.
Because Amway, I heard it said from stage at Amway conventions that to women, to wives, you need to become less so that your husband can become more. Yeah.
Okay.
That, of course, is very much rooted in very conservative Christianity, patriarchy, etc. Because guess what? The Bible doesn't say that.
Yeah. Shocker.
I read the entire New Testament in a weekend. It doesn't say that.
Yeah.
That's a story for another time. That's part of the cult. But anyway.
Yeah. No, it's wild. It's wild again, like what things.
Yeah, I spent 10 months in a religious internship that functioned more like a cult. So.
Which, do you mind saying which one? Or can you message me later about it?
I could message you later for sure.
Because there's some of my friends that go to this internship thing.
Yeah.
In Kansas City.
Well, that's not the same one. The one I defunct, which is a whole other story. That we could probably, if we want to talk about like religious manipulation and unhealthy spiritual abuse and stuff like that, I've got a story about that.
I would love to have that conversation.
because it's a whole other thing.
Yeah. No, yeah. In the future, let's schedule it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was, and I'm not going to say that everything Amway did for my family was all bad. Like my parents were kind of at the they were doing super well in Amway when I was in that program. And one of my teammates in that program, she was struggling to pay off the rest of her tuition for that year. And she didn't know where it was going to come from. And my dad approached the leader of the program and said, I want to pay off that girl's tuition. So Emily did that for my teammate, for my friend. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say it was all bad.
Sure.
Emily exposed me to high-end makeup. Yeah. That their mascara used to be amazing.
Really?
It looked like I was wearing false lashes with it on, but they've changed it since then. And it's not great anymore. And I don't buy MLM products anymore. So
yeah.
But
Holy
yeah,
crap.
very, very general. And try being a single woman in Amway.
Is it impossible? Is it possible?
Married off.
Holy crap.
You can't be within 10 feet of a single man, and some couple isn't being like, oh, you're single, come meet so-and-so. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Were part of the small percentage that made a living from Amway. They worked their butts off.
Sure.
Amway entire life. It was our entire existence. There was a business function, there was a conference, and it was in our city, but it was the same weekend as my senior prom. And guess where my parents were?
No.
They came over. I got ready at my grandparents' house with one of my friends, because my grandparents lived in the same town as we did. And my parents, on the dinner break, they sped over to my grandparents' house to see me and take a couple pictures, and then got in the car and went back down to the thing.
Oh my God.
They always took precedence, and that was just how it was. And at the time, I didn't know, I didn't know. I didn't know that I could voice those things. And if I had, I don't think they would have listened, because they were that bought in to the whole thing.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Yeah.
If you won't mind me asking, if I ask something that is too personal or you don't want to answer, please feel free to say I don't want to answer.
Sure.
Was there those for example, your prom? Well, I know they made an effort to at least be there. Were there events or them being a part of Amway? Did that create any kind of resentment or hard feelings towards them that you said, because of Amway, I'm getting the short end of the stick basically with this, or what was your experience with that? Potentially missing out on bigger moments, or moments that you didn't think Amway was going to come between you and your parents, and it did. Or I guess that's a weird question, but answer whatever you'd like to from that.
I'd say it was kind of a mixed bag. They always made the effort for at least one of them to be at me and my brother's events, if there was conflicting with an Amway thing. But if both of them were there, it definitely... My mom doesn't have very much of a filter, and she sometimes doesn't realize... I love my mom, and we have a good relationship. We're very different people, and I'm self-aware enough to know that a lot of her issues come from her past issues, etc., etc. But anyway, there were times when my mom would say things like, we're here and there's an Amway function going on that's really important that we could have been at instead, as if to say that we should be grateful that we were there. And that didn't happen very many times, but as kids, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Has that situation where you really remembered some of those, what your mom said, and I'm not trying to trash on your mom or anything, has that kind of changed how like what you've decided to do with your own kids, or was that so impactful with the Amway situation that you made drastic changes as a parent going forward?
Mm-hmm. I think, like, as a parent, and my husband and I have discussed this a lot because his parents are also very different from how we parent our kids. Like, we've both tried to be self-aware enough to take what was good from how we were raised, and then for the rest of it, do it our own way based on our kids and their personalities and their temperaments and their needs and what for us, and I'm always very conscious of trying not to use the guilt card on my kids.
Yeah.
There have been times when I've had to talk to them about, hey, your attitude kind of sucks and you're being kind of you're being ungrateful, and you need to realize that you're very fortunate to have the things that we do. And stuff like that. And I think that the thing that really made me want to parent differently was all of the self-development in Amway that led to the toxic positivity. And you can just decide to be happy. You can just decide to change your mindset or whatever. And so that made it more difficult to talk to my parents about emotional things. Or things that I was struggling with, because they really bought into the whole, just change your mindset, just change the way you think, just do this, just do that. And what I didn't know at the time, what I know now as an adult, is that at the time I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, how do I want to put this? I had a depression burger with a side of anxiety fries. And so I couldn't just stop. I couldn't just change. There's no off switch.
Right.
And understanding that now makes a lot more things make sense. And I don't blame my parents for not understanding that, because it was at a time when mental health was not at the forefront of discussion.
Yeah.
But it at the time, it led me to be very, very hard on myself, going like, what is wrong with me that I can't just get over this, that I can't hump or get through this wall. And like, if I wish I could talk to my younger self and say, hey, it's not your fault. You're going to figure this out, and it's going to be okay. And like, that's what I would say to anyone who's in an MLM or has been in an MLM and they're dealing with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just switch off depression or anxiety or whatever else it is, no matter how much they tell you to. And it's okay for you to tell them to F off and go get the help you need.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And self-help books. I'm very into setting things on fire, if some of you have seen from my comments.
Love it. We love that.
Thing about burning something,
Yeah, it's very therapeutic sometimes, for sure. Chelsea had a question for you. Was Amway your parents' only source of income for when they were in?
For a time, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for a time, yeah. And then my dad picked up the construction again. And the recession of 2008, I think, was a big nail in the coffin for their Amway time. I mean, they were all not at the level that they had been. And then that recession hit them really hard. And husband and I got married in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
So it was a source of income for several years.
Has your I guess I don't know how to say this. Has your relationship with your parents gotten better since they've slowed down with Amway, or has it remained the same because you were able to separate them being in Amway from their impact on you, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's better now because they have time.
Yep.
They have time, and they're not, when they go and they can go on vacation. Like, one of the things about being in Amway, my mom's a very driven person, which is great. She's in real estate now and she's kicking butt. She's amazing. She was like born to do that. But in Amway, it got to the point where it was like she couldn't go to the movies with us because the whole time she sat there, she'd feel annoyed and anxious because she felt like I could be using this time to be out prospecting people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That I could be working. I could be doing something productive. So it ate into, I know for sure, my dad's a lot quieter. He didn't talk about that kind of stuff. But for my mom, it for sure ate into her ability to just relax and enjoy things. And she's finally, years later, she's finally getting that back, which is fantastic. So she's actually like taking downtime and enjoying it.
So your mom is someone who's like very, I mean, it sounds like she's like A-type personality. She has goals. She likes working hard. She
does.
She does. So if you could say something to someone who's in an MLM who is similar to that, what is the difference being, you mentioned it a little bit, but what's the difference being that your mom is now out of an MLM and she still is that driven, hardworking, focused person that she was back then, but it sounds like her quality of life is better now. So if someone is kind of in that rat race in an MLM, what would you say to that person who feels like they're stuck in an MLM?
Oh gosh. There's so many things. But I think for me, from my perspective with my experiences, because Amway wasn't my own MLM, but from my own perspective and experience, it'd be like, you're allowed to say no. You are an adult. You're allowed to say no. And and line, and I said this to someone who had been in Amway before and who was anxious about like what their upline's opinion of them going back to college. And I said, your upline is not God.
Yeah.
They're not, because in Amway, there is a very religious culture and they will like make it seem like your upline or your upline diamond or your mentor or whoever is like on the level of God, if you believe in that, as far as you making life decisions.
Yeah.
And like that their approval is everything. And it's just not. Like who are they? Like what did they do? They recruited a bunch of people and made a crap load of money. Okay, big whoop.
Yeah.
What gives them the right to tell you how to live your life?
That's a great question.
Like, literally, what have they done? What have they done? Did they achieve world peace? Did they win a Nobel Peace Prize? Were they the president of the United States? Like, do they have a PhD in something? I mean, maybe some of them do, I don't know. But they crap all over college, so I doubt anybody in Amway has a PhD.
Yeah.
But yeah, like literally just like take a step back and think about it logically. Like, what have they done to entitle them to this kind of authority over your life?
Yeah.
And you're a grown up and it's your life and you're allowed to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like people, because they're told over and over, you're like the five, the five people that like the most successful people around you. So I think it seems like that they get around these really high recruiters or these really high income earners, and they're like, well, if I step out of line, then they're not going to let me be around them. So then I'm not going to be able to participate in the close proximity to, I think it's like this whole thing. And it's like, no,
yeah,
it's just, like you said, no boundary. They're not God. Yeah.
Mary Kay, a few years ago was this realization that there was a moment, and that's a whole other long story, but there was a moment where I was like, this is cult stuff. Like, I am an adult and nobody gets to tell me who I can and can't be friends with. So I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like,
Amazing.
This is like, I control religious internship I was in and I'm done. You don't get to, I'm a grown up. You don't get to tell me who to talk to or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I see Caro Chan is asking how my relationship is with my siblings. It's good. I have 3 brothers and we each have our own unique relationship. So they're good guys and I love them all. My older brothers, and two of my brothers, my older brother and my middle brother still live locally. My youngest brother, that stinker, went and fell in love with a German girl and now lives in Germany. Like, he moved far enough away for all of us. So,
Yep.
but yeah, it's very unique. I definitely helped with. So there's my older brother is 18 months older than me, and then there's me, and then there's a 3-year gap, and then my two younger brothers.
Okay.
So once my older brother and I like had our driver's licenses, we definitely had a lot of responsibilities for helping with our younger siblings while my parents were off doing Amway things.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
wow.
Like, some parents are nervous for their kids to start driving. My mom was like, "Woohoo!
Free up time." Yep. So your parents being in Amway, you joined Amway, you were in Mary Kay. Chelsea asked, what brought you into the kind of anti-MLM, movement, or like watching? How did you even find this space on the internet?
Oh gosh, I think I was browsing YouTube because I loved watching makeup videos. This was at like the height of beauty YouTube, and I love makeup. And it's like, that was another thing that got me out of Mary Kay. I was like, I don't want to be bound to just one brand. I want to experiment with stuff.
Yeah.
Can't tell. Well, this is like my 5-minute face right now. I don't have like a makeup bag. I have a makeup desk. That's how much
that.
But so I was just scrolling YouTube, and I think it was one of Savvy Writes Books videos that had anti-MLM in the title, and I was like, there's people that are anti-MLM? Like, MLMs are fine. It's not like, by this point, my husband and I owned a business, and we still do. So I had at that point realized that, okay, being in an MLM is not like running your own. It's not like owning a business. It's not even remotely like owning your own business. Yeah. And then, but I was like, but it's okay. If they would just like kind of change that language and be what they are, like, that would be fine. Like, get your money, get your whatever. Just stop saying that you're business owners, because you're not. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling and came across, again, I think it was a Savvy video, and she's awesome. If you ever watched her book reviews give me life.
Yeah, she's awesome. She is awesome.
And I was curious, so I watched it, and I was like, oh, she has some really good points. And then I started, like, actually searching. And then, of course, the videos start popping up in my feed because of what I watched and the algorithm and blah, blah, blah. And I started coming across more and more and more channels. And then also, this was like January of 2020. My kids were both in school full days. By then, I'd been a stay-at-home mom since they were born. And, but they were both in school full days. And my husband was like, come to the office and help with the business. Yeah. Like, during the week when they're in school. And so I started doing that and really seeing how a business functions versus how people in MLMs talk about it, how they talk about a job, or how they talk about owning a business, or how they talk about being the boss of a business or whatever. And I got mad. I got really mad. I was like, they're diminishing how hard it is to actually run a business and how valuable it is to be employed. The thing that got me was when we were hiring people, I was like, hiring people comes at a cost to us. We pay them a paycheck, we give them their training, we buy if they need any brand shirts, if they work in one of our stores, we do health benefits, etc. That comes at a cost to us.
Yeah.
To the business, to the company. But with an MLM, you pay them to be an employee, and they don't even give you benefits. They don't even give you health insurance.
Very good point.
I was like, this is the biggest scam, like, in the history. Well, there are other things that I think are bigger scams that has more to do with cults and stuff like that. But I was like, this is, they convinced people to pay them to work for them.
Yeah.
But we pay people to work for us.
Yeah.
And that moment was like,
yep.
Why did my phone just
Uh-oh. I think you're paused. Let me try to add you back. See? Nope. Let me add the interviewee. Interview. Uh-oh. I think you're add to the right. Uh-oh. I think your phone died. Uh-oh. We'll see if she comes back. Live chat, you're incredible. Thanks for thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out and asking incredible questions. Melissa is amazing. I'm going to look in Instagram and see if she is, that's where she's been messaging me, so we will see what happens. Up, here we come. Here we go. And you're back.
And we're back. God, what the heck?
It's
Anyway.
The curse of the MLMs.
The curse.
Spooky Halloween version.
It's the enemy. The enemy, DC, is trying to get us.
Oh my God.
MLM.
Yep. Just gotta, Oh my God.
And then like just I learned more and more about, business in the real world and like profit margins, etc. I'm like, they're like, you make 35% commission on everything that you sell. I'm like, oh my God, my fucking phone.
Amway is out to get us. I wonder if Amway is out to get us. The spooky October Amway version. Let me see if she comes back. Oh, here we go. Oh,
I can't deal with my phone right now. Oh my God.
It's Amway. It's not your phone.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I moved it, so hopefully maybe it was getting overheated sitting on my laptop.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, where were we?
The cost profit margins 35%.
Oh, yeah. I was like 35%, that's pathetic. Actually. Any retail store would laugh you out. Like, yeah, no, we don't do that. Cost of goods versus what they sell it to their reps for versus what their reps then sell it to other people for. It's a racket.
Oh.
It's a racket. Like everybody should be really mad that that's what's happening.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think it's a positive selling point for most MLMs. It's like, well, in Mary Kay, it's like, oh, you get to keep 50% of your sales, and it's like, no, you buy it for a certain price, and if you can sell it for double that, okay, but then you still have to pay for gas. You still have to pay, I don't know, for all the supplies. You're still, all
and
the
if
time,
you do a giveaway or a sale. That doesn't come out of Mary Kay's cost. That comes out of yours.
Yep.
That comes out of your 50%.
Yep.
So if you do a party and you do like hostess benefits, then it's like that comes out of your 50%. Mary Kay doesn't pay that.
Yep.
That comes out of your 50%.
Yep. You are incurring all of the risk and all of the cost. So. Yep. Oh my God. So
and they don't have a buyback program for expired or discontinued product. You're stuck with it.
Yep. And the crazy thing is, especially like, and we both went to Mary Kay, but like they keep telling you like just keep trying, just keep trying. But when you reach that 12-month mark, you can't sell anything back. So it's like the directors are like, oh, just keep trying, and it's like no. You need to mark the date that you bought the product and you need to sell it back. And you don't even get 100% back. You get 90% back.
90% back. And the thing they don't tell you when they try to sell you an inventory package, and this pissed me off too, because disclosure matters.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And what they don't tell you is that if you decide to stop and send back your inventory, the company takes back your director's commission from that inventory.
Oh.
So that's a big reason why they don't want you to send it back.
That is such an asshole move on every direct. That's such a slimy move. That's such a slimy move. And
yep, it's disclosure matters, and disclosure matters with all MLMs.
Yep.
Like they don't disclose all the information when they get you to sign up. After you sign up and they get you emotionally invested, then they start disclosing all of that information.
Yep.
And that's a problem. Yeah, disclosure matters.
Yep.
You know, like they say in Mary Kay, we don't have quotas. Well, yes, you do.
Yeah.
If you want to move up the ranks and actually make money, you have a quota. You have numbers you have to hit every month, every quarter, and every year to maintain your rank.
Yep. Especially also car qualifications, also national sales director qualifications, also director qualifications, also
all of them.
All of it.
All of it. It's a quota. I'm sorry. It's a quota by any other name is still a quota.
Yep.
And it's just there's the lack of disclosure, and nobody has ever. I've been to when my parents were active in Amway, I went to a million, Amway plan presentations. And they make it sound so great. They make it sound so awesome. And then you get in and it's like all of the requirements. And then you find out that, first of all, they never call it Amway. They're very good about that. It's always the business, this business.
Yep.
Even at functions, when they're talking to their own people at the big conferences, it's this business. It's never Amway. It's weird.
Oh my God.
So that they make it sound so appealing, and just then you find out, if you read your paperwork, if you read your contract, you find out you're not a business owner by any definition.
Yeah.
And that's just where the lack of disclosures start. So when the FTC was taking comments last spring, I wrote a comment, and lack of disclosure was my big focus.
Yeah.
Because like in Mary Kay, they say, oh, you only get started for $99. It's just $99. You can find $99. You have $99. So you sign up, you spend the $99 to get the starter kit. Okay, then you get in. Then you find out that in order to be considered active, you have to place a $250 wholesale order every 3 months. And what they don't tell you is that for directors or for anybody who's trying to attain the next rank, they need to have, you can't just recruit a bunch of people who buy the $99 starter kit. You have to have a certain number of active, which is the $250 order, or qualified, which is a $600 wholesale order for a new recruit. So then you've now increased the cost to $350 or almost $700 because you're motivated to get those people to do that so that you can get to the next rank.
Yep.
So just $99, there's a lack of disclosure.
Yep.
And let's not even get started on the inventory.
Oh.
And this was my mistake. I take full responsibility for it. Y'all, when I joined Mary Kay, I got the $5,000 inventory package. $5,000.
Yep. Because they tell you you're going to be able to sell it because you're going to have it on hand. No one's going to have to wait for shipping. So they're going to want to buy it right up. That's what they tell you.
And people can say like, oh, were they holding? One of the things they love to say in Mary Kay is, well, nobody held a gun to your head, which I think is very insensitive considering the current climate of today. And I want them to stop using that.
Yep.
But it's like, no, nobody did. Nobody forced me. I made that decision. I take responsibility for that decision. But do you know how much stuff I sent to the landfill though when I was done with Mary Kay?
Yeah.
So much.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm lucky that my husband was not angry at me for that. He was like, he fell for it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
They're very, very good at finding your heartstrings, finding your buttons.
Yep.
To talk you into it.
Yep.
They're very good at it.
I mean, I've reacted to the sales pitch, that one that I listened to back in the day. If you can imagine how good she is at that whole spiel, how the private conversations go when they're talking about the inventory. And when I say they talk you into it, if you can imagine the best sales pitch, Mary Kay ladies, the higher up ladies are really good. They are.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
And like when you get into and Mary Kay is also a very religious company. You know, their whole motto of God first, family second, career third.
Yep.
We open and close every meeting with prayer. What other company does that? Really?
Yep.
Really? There's this little thing called religious freedom. Okay? It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you pray at the beginning of your meetings. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and it's just, you know, because I am a person of faith, and that got its hooks into me.
Yeah. Sure.
You know? And yeah, you start to really believe that when that has its hooks in you, the faith thing, when that has its hooks in you, you do start to believe that this is from God. Like it's God's call in your life. This is your ministry to women.
Yep. It's the vehicle.
Literally. They take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And there was this nagging voice inside of me the whole time that's like, I'm trying to convince women to spend money with me. How is that ministering to them?
Yeah.
Good trying question. To take their money. And I never recruited anybody because I felt like it's a lot of money for a lot of people. And I can't in good conscience ask my friends to spend that much money that I know they don't have.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do that to somebody.
Yep.
So if anybody from Mary Kay ever wanted to say I'm bitter and that I failed, it'd be like, I didn't even try. And I'm proud of that because I was self-aware enough to see that there was a problem here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Amway, and I guess because we're talking about inventory, is there an inventory requirement in Amway? Do you have to do a big inventory purchase, or is it all just setting up like reorder accounts with customers?
I don't think there is now because of the internet and how easy it is to get things shipped and delivered. At the time, back in 99 and into the early 2000s, that wasn't as prominent yet. So there was a weekly on Sunday night. My parents downline would call with orders. And there were several Sunday nights where I sat and took the orders because my parents were out of town or whatever. I did that. So on paper with a paper booklet where you'd mark it down. And then and then the upline would place their order from that. And then it would come to the upline, and then the downline would come and pick up their orders from the upline and like bring them a paper check. Like it was kind of ancient.
Wow.
So my parents did have an inventory. I don't think that's necessary anymore, again, because like shipping is so much easier.
Sure.
So I mean, I couldn't say, but I don't think it's a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But still to switch your whole house over to Amway products is a lot of money.
Oh.
It's a lot of money. Their stuff's expensive.
Yeah. Young
And
Living
then
tries to do the same thing. They tried to get all those toxic products out, and like,
yeah,
it's so expensive. So I can imagine with Amway, when they have even more products you can swap out, that it would be even more expensive.
And at the time they had even more products than they do now. Like they've whittled their product line down since then.
What?
But like their goal was to have, to be your one-stop shop for everything possible.
Wow.
Like if they could ship it, if it was shippable, like they'd do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Pretty much. It was huge. It was overwhelming. And then, if you wanted to get into the makeup side of it, which their makeup brand is called Artistry,
Okay.
And I don't think it's as good as it used to be. At the time, it was really, really good. But it's not as good as it used to be, and I don't use it anymore. But if you wanted the whole setup to do parties for the makeup and skincare, it was a lot. A lot. And then
Wow.
if they changed any of the formulations, which they did pretty regularly, and I brought this up to my mom once, then you had to buy all the new stuff for your kid
Mm.
to go do these parties.
Yep.
And I said to my mom, I said, and Amway says they're like conscious of the environment and stuff, but every time they make a change like this, you guys have to throw away all your old stuff.
Yeah.
How is that being environmentally conscious?
Good question. Good question.
So yeah.
Yeah. Caro asked, what was your first job after an MLM, after Amway?
Well, I started working straight out of high school. I never went to college. I started working. I was my dad's secretary for his construction business. And then I did that. I did that for a year, a little over a year. And then I did the internship, the religious internship.
Okay.
And I came out of that and went straight back into like receptionist and secretary type work.
Okay.
And that's just what I did until I had my kids.
Cool.
So
awesome.
Yeah, pretty simple. It's not very exciting, but my last job before I had kids was I was front desk at a school, which was hell.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Parents are psychotic. I was like, I am going to treat the front desk ladies at my kids' schools like goddesses.
Yeah.
I got cussed at. I got yelled at. I caught everything. And I was like, why are you yelling at me? I'm just the receptionist. I'm not, go yell at the school board.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that was my thing. So yeah. And husband was in IT, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
When the kids were little. So that's what we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In Amway, what was the most overly overpriced thing that you can remember?
They had this face cream that they came out with, this luxury face cream that was like $500 for a jar.
What?
Yeah.
$500?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Amway.
What? Do they? Well, I'm guessing they still have some kind of something there. I mean, I don't think Mary Kay is in the same. Mary.
She kind of was. There's a story there. Her story is not all that they present it to be. But yeah.
God.
Yeah, no, and they have this whole story about how there was this village of women in Greece who all did Amway internationally, and they would like all pool their money, and once a month one of them would and they'd buy the jar of cream, and they would take turns of who got the jar of the cream every month. And it's like, that's supposed to be inspiring. That's sad.
Yeah, especially
like I don't use $500 face cream. Like,
yeah.
No.
No.
Like, I use good skincare products.
Sure.
But it's not $500. Like, what? Is it going to wash the dishes too?
I know, especially you're paying out every level of like however many levels you get paid down in Amway. I don't even know how that math works. I'd have to ask like a statistician or something, because like,
yeah,
holy crap. Yeah.
I'd say overpriced thing in Mary Kay would be, I don't know. I feel compared to some other MLM skincare and makeup lines, Mary Kay was actually relatively reasonable.
Yeah. That's what I mean, thought.
Still probably more than I would spend. I'd say maybe their eyeshadows, because they're so teeny tiny. Like, itty bitty, teeny tiny little eyeshadows. Yeah. And then they changed the formula, and they're not good anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I would say the eyeshadows, just because like you'd buy them for whatever $7, and then you'd have to sell them for $14, and I'm sure the price has gone up. And they were like, I mean, it was cool. They're little magnets, and you could put them in the little. You could put all the different things in the little whatever the mirrored.
I'm an eyeshadow junkie. I have way too much eyeshadow. Way too many eyeshadow palettes.
I don't think that's a bad problem to have.
It's not. I tell my husband, like, I could be addicted to so many other things than makeup. Like, you're lucky. Count yourself lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have a shoe addiction. I could have a Christian Louboutin.
Oh my
addiction,
God.
and I don't.
He's
so.
lucky. He is so lucky. Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean, it's just so Mary Kay was more reasonable than Amway, but still, if you think about the fact that they're selling you these products for 50% of the retail price and they're still making a crap ton of money, it can't cost that much to make them. And their ingredients aren't that special.
Yeah, agree.
It's fine.
Yep.
They're fine. You know, they're
but
fine.
not for that price. I mean, I don't think for that price.
Not for that price. And like, it's not hard to find replacement products. The only thing I have not found a replacement for is satin hands.
Yeah,
there's nothing else like it on the market, and I'm pissed. So, but there's another company that we've worked with before in our business that I'm like, hey, wait a second. They formulate body care and face care products. Maybe they can make something like satin hands. I'm going to call them.
Oh yeah, you should. Because really, and I know like everyone is like, oh my gosh, MLM products are trash. Some of them are not trash. Like some of them, like satin hands are like, and again, there's some stuff that's like, I haven't found a replacement for one thing in Young Living. I haven't found a replacement for satin hands. And it's like, okay, well.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it's
someday.
I mean, some of them are overhyped. Some of them are just not as good as they're going to be. Some of them are actually good.
Yeah.
But they're not special.
Yeah.
Like that technology is out there. It's not difficult to find a replacement. It really isn't.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah. Did you, so in Amway, I have another Amway question. Did you ever try to recruit any of your friends into Amway, or did your parents try to get you to recruit any of your friends into Amway? Uh-oh, I think I paused you. Let me see. It looks like you're still connected. There is, Elf has like a primer. Here we go. I think we're back.
Next time we do this won't be a problem. And my phone kicked off Wi-Fi. It was weird. That's probably why it kicked off this time.
Uh-oh, it's coming. It's coming again. I think. Nope, we're good.
Can you see me again?
I can see you. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, my phone dropped the Wi-Fi. That was weird. Anyway, recruiting my friends into Amway.
Yeah.
I talked about it with some of them, but I never like recruited them. I wasn't very confident at the time.
Okay.
I also had a lot of social anxiety. So like talking to people was like, I start to borderline have a panic attack, like racing heart, short of breath, hands shaking. So yeah, I just kind of was along for the ride. I just observed a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
I observed a lot. And, yeah, I mean, I dated a guy for about 5 months who was in Amway, and his parents were at the same level that I was, and he was hardcore Amway.
Whoa.
Like super hardcore. And he tried to recruit people all the time, but the way he went about it was kind of awkward, so it's no wonder he never recruited anybody. God bless his heart. So, yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like an experience.
Oh, it was an experience, all right. And he was a sweet guy.
Sure.
He wasn't the right guy for me. And he was very just very into the whole thing and not open to anything else.
Yeah. What was the weirdest thing or the strangest thing you ever heard at one of the Amway like events that you went to?
Oh my gosh. Looking back, the whole thing was just so like overall strange.
Yeah.
Like you have this lineup of speakers that come and like they're not really giving you any good like actual business training. They're just trying to motivate you through telling their own story and whatever. And it's like, that's very strange.
Okay.
And just all the stuff about gender roles and how to have a good marriage. And it's like, why are you telling us how to have a good marriage? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was, yeah, probably the gender stuff big time. Because I was like, it didn't feel fair. It's like, we women, we have brains. Like, women are usually the backbone of their businesses because they're the ones that are like doing all the product stuff.
Right.
You know? So why, I don't know. I mean, and there were some really good speakers though. There were some really funny speakers who would leave us just like screaming with laughter in our seats. And I always enjoyed those. But yeah, it was just like very much this is the way you should live your life type of thing. And like, if you don't have material goals, like, then what are you doing? It was very materialistic for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of flashy jewelry and cars and clothes and, you know.
Got to get those lifestyle claims in, that's for sure.
Yeah. Multiple homes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, I bought this for cash and I bought this for cash. And can you do that? I can just write a check for a Porsche for my wife. Can you do that? It's like, most people can't, dude.
Yep.
I don't want a Porsche. I wouldn't fit. I'm 5'10". I wouldn't fit in a Porsche. Okay.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. I don't think Dexter Yager had that problem because I think he was shorter anyways. So.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe
I never heard Dexter Yager. I never heard the Yagers speak, but they were, because I think they were in a different organization. But they were highly revered. Highly revered.
Yeah, I can imagine. They're the way that I've seen them portrayed on videos on YouTube and the way that I see articles written about them, I'm like, okay, they.
Oh, I just had a memory of like the strangest thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. So there was this one family that was all diamonds, double diamonds, triple diamonds, like up there. And so it was the two adult sons and their elderly dad. Well, there was one year where the dad had gotten very, very sick. He'd gotten pneumonia or something and was in the hospital for a long time. And there were times they didn't think he would make it. And so the year that he came back, when he was better, when he came back and started speaking again, they, at the particular conference he went to for that region, they videotaped his speech, and then they played it at the other conferences that year, that season. I think it was the spring conference. And we all stood up and did a standing ovation for a video, like a several minute long standing ovation for someone who wasn't even in the room.
That was weird.
It was weird. It was weird. There was a little part of me that was like, he's not here. Why are we doing this? I don't know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have another question for you because I'm nosy.
I could probably only do one more because my phone's battery is getting low.
Last question. And this is unpopular opinion, I guess, but so Stephen Hassan says like there are sometimes there are some good things that you can still remember and take from your time potentially in a negative group. Was there anything that you picked up from Amway that was positive or that you were like, okay, I can take this and build on it, or even in Mary Kay? Did you ever have what was a positive thing that you took from that?
Well, I learned how to dress professionally.
Okay.
It was good. I did learn helping my mom with the makeup and skincare stuff.
Yep.
I learned that I really, really enjoyed talking to people about that. I really enjoyed teaching people about like making makeup less scary and helping women feel like, oh, this is easy. I can do this and I feel great. Awesome. Because like, you know, makeup itself is not beauty. You're beautiful like the way you are. Makeup is just for fun and it shouldn't be scary. So I learned that I really, really enjoyed that. Met some great people, got to go to some great places, you know. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
It wasn't all bad. I
Yeah.
think overall, I'd say it's not a healthy thing, but even in, like you said, even inside of unhealthy things, you can still find good things and good memories. Like there's a book that I love. It's called The Witness Wore Red. And it's by a woman who was in the Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints and ended up helping take Warren Jeffs, the head of the Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, down in Texas. And she talks about her upbringing in the FLDS, and she talks about the good memories. Like so much bad happened, but also so much good happened too.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of love and community and camaraderie, and like there are good memories there that she holds on to. And that really, I've read that book several times. It's kind of a hard read.
Sure.
So only read it if you're like in a good place, because there's a lot of talk about the abuses that happened, etc. But that really helps with my perspective that just like, yeah, it's okay to enjoy the good memories. There it goes.
Okay. You're still here, so I'm okay. Sorry. All right. Live chat. I think that's a good point to end on. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I am gonna have Melissa on again. I think that she's an incredible asset. I know, I'm sorry, Melissa. Y'all, Melissa is incredible. I'm gonna have her on again. I'm not gonna talk her ear off, so I think we've been on for an hour and a half. Yep. We have. Melissa, thanks so much for joining. That was an incredible answer. I had a great time, and yeah, let's do it again. I don't have an outro set up in my new streaming stuff, so I'm just going to play my outro music and wave goodbye, and I will see you on the next live stream. So, goodbye.